Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Farah Najwa binti Rosli. My matric number is 2023375391 and I'm from class BA2432A.
My name is Nurdayana binti Baharudin, matric number 2023-168925 from group BA2432A.
Hello and a good day to Doctor. My name is Just Amana Nojenseli and my student ID is 2023375231.
Assalamualaikum Doctor. My name is Nik Nur Amira Safia binti Muhammad Basri. My matric number is 2023-104853.
Assalamualaikum and good day. Today I'm going to talk about KERJAYA Prospek Group Berhad, a leading player in construction and property industry in Malaysia. So in this slide, I'll be talking about their business activity, highlight project, and their vision mission. So KERJAYA Prospek Group Berhad, formerly known as FIN420 Berhad, made its debut on the main market of Bursa Malaysia Securities Berhad in 1996. The group is principally involved in construction of high-end commercial and high-rise residential buildings, property development, and manufacturing of lighting and kitchen solutions. KERJAYA Prospek Group Berhad, or KPG for short, is headquartered in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So company's vision is to be the trusted and preferred leader in providing products and services in the construction and property industry. Their vision is to pursue excellence in their businesses, deliver quality products and services to the customer on a timely basis, develop human capital, create value for shareholders, and be a responsible corporate citizen. In construction, they specialize in high-end commercial and high-rise residential buildings. Some of their notable projects include Malaysia Grand Bazaar at BBC at Zon Bukit Bintang, Edu Metro at Subang Jaya, Edu Spear at Cyberjaya, and Mega Rise at Taman Megah.
IOI Property Group Berhad vision is to be a leading and sustainable Malaysian business corporation with global presence, while their mission is to achieve responsible and sustainable commercial success by addressing the interests of all our stakeholders, caring for the community and the environment, and adopting best practice to be globally competitive. IOI Property Group Berhad is a Malaysian property development company. IOI Property Group is a subsidiary of IOI Corporation Berhad. They interest in palm oil, property development, resource-based manufacturing, and other business. IOI Property Group is involved in the development of residential, commercial, and industrial properties. They have a diverse portfolio of projects ranging from residential township and high-rise condominium to commercial development such as office towers and retail centers. The company has a strong presence in Malaysia and has also expanded its operation to other countries in the region. IOI Property Group is known for its quality development and commitment to sustainable practice.
Closer look at KERJAYA Prospek. According to the diagram, the company experienced a gain in profit margin from 12.94% to 13.29% from 2018 to 2019. However, there was a decline of 11.19% to 9.91% from 2020 to 2021. Interestingly, in 2022, the company made an expressive increase of 10.32% in profit margin. Now, turning our attention to IOI Properties Group Berhad, we see a different story. They displayed a remarkable rise in net profit margins with an increase of 29.16% to 30.05% from 2018 to 2019. However, the pandemic 2020 caused a significant drop with only 21.71% in profit margin. The operating profit margins of corporations experienced a considerably decline. Nonetheless, they bounced back throughout the year of 2021 to 2022, showing an increase from 26.65% and 26.56%. Comparing the two companies, it's clear that both KERJAYA Prospek and IOI Properties maintain an average profit margin, implying they have adequate cost management. Both are highly effective in transforming their sales into profit. However, IOI Properties Group Berhad stands out, showing continuous development and adaptability, especially during challenging times. Overall, analyzing profit margin provides valuable insight into a company's financial health. While KERJAYA Prospek demonstrates resilience, IOI Properties Group Berhad showcases a gap between 2018 and 2020. KERJAYA Prospek consistently outperformed IOI Properties Group Berhad in terms of ROA. In 2018, KERJAYA Prospek's ROA stood significantly higher at 10.39% compared to IOI Properties' 2.38%, showcasing more effective asset profit production. Despite decrease in 2019 and 2022, with KERJAYA Prospek
ROA dropping to 9.84% to 6.09% respectively, and II Properties ROA falling to 2.02% and 1.4%. Kerjaya Prospek retained a higher ROA. It's worth noting that the industry average of ROA in 2020 was 13.6%, indicating widespread success in profit from this asset. In 2021, Kerjaya Prospek ROA increased to 6.41%, surpassing II Properties at 1.98%, while the industry average was 9.4%. Even in 2022, Kerjaya Prospek experienced an increase in ROA to 8.60%, maintaining its lead over II Properties at 5.3%. In this analysis clearly shows that Kerjaya Prospek Group Berhad consistently outperformed II Properties Group Berhad in terms of asset profitability from 2018 to 2022. This indicates that Kerjaya Prospek is more efficient in allocating resources for its profitability, showcasing a commendable ability to generate profits. 2018, Kerjaya Prospek posted a solid ROE of 14.30%, outperforming II Properties with 4.21%, indicated that Kerjaya Prospek was more efficient in generating returns from shareholders' investment than its counterpart. However, by 2019, Kerjaya Prospek ROE had dropped significantly to 13.07%, still greater than II Properties ROE of 3.48%. In 2020, both companies experienced a further decline, with Kerjaya Prospek at 8.17% and II Properties at 2.4%. Interestingly, both were much lower than the industry average of 45.5%. In 2021, Kerjaya Prospek showed improvements with an ROE of 8.45%, while II Properties saw an increase to 3.36%. However, both companies fell short of the industry average of 41.4%, indicating that the industry as a whole was more beneficial than both Kerjaya Prospek and II Properties Group that year. Moving to 2022, Kerjaya Prospek maintained its outperforming with an ROE of 10.32%, although it did not exceed the industry average of 28.3%. In contrast, II Properties Group's ROE of 3.33% remained below both Kerjaya Prospek and industry average. Overall, Kerjaya Prospek has consistently outperformed II Properties in terms of return on equity. However, it's notable that both companies have fallen below the industry average in recent years. This implies that overall the industry has been more profitable than these two companies throughout this period.
Equity ratio. The first one I will be explaining is inventory turnover. So the industry average for inventory turnover has been consistently set for the past 5 years, which is at 5.95 times. According to the chart, II Properties has been consistently set a ratio between 1.20 and below for the past 5 years, which shows that the company had a hard time in replacing their inventory. Next one, the latest inventory turnover. As for 2022, Kerjaya Prospek is at 5.57, which is almost equal to industry average. Meanwhile, II Properties is at 0.85, which is lower than the industry average. Kerjaya Prospek set the highest inventory turnover ratio in 2018 with a ratio of 10.24 times. In conclusion, a high inventory turnover ratio typically suggests that products are being sold promptly and that sales are strong within a specific time frame. Nonetheless, an excessively high inventory ratio may imply the constant need to replenish inventory, potentially resulting in instances where stocks are depleted. Next, I will be explaining about average collection period. The preferable average collection period is within 60 days or less, as it indicates that the business have a high liquidity or more efficient. According to the chart, Kerjaya Prospek shows that their average collection period for the past 5 years, whereas in 2018 they set 81 days. For the next year, which is 2019, they had set for 105 days, 155 days for 2020, 150 days for 2021. However, in 2022, their ratio has increased to 201 days, which indicates that the company had become more and more less efficient and has a less liquidity. According to the chart, II Properties shows a significant results for 2 years, which in 2018 they had set 38 days, and in 2019 is 59 days in order for them to complete their collection period. This indicates that during those years, the company has shown that they are working efficiently and has a high liquidity. However, in 2020, their ratio increases to 67 days, 60 days for 2021, and the highest ratio for collection period, which is 101 days in 2022. This shows that after 2020, their liquidity become lesser. By comparing to the latest ratio for both companies, we can indicate that the business has a less liquidity and
So
become
next, I will be
less
talking
about fixed asset turnover. According to the chart, Kerjaya Prospek shows that their fixed asset turnover for the past 5 years, whereas in 2018 they had set for 1.55 times. For the next year, which is 2019, they had set 1.51 times. In 2020, 1.66 times. And in 2021, 1.43 times. However, in 2022, the ratio increased to 3.44 times, which indicates that the company is becoming more efficient and has more liquidity. According to the chart, IUI Properties, on the other hand, shows a rather less performance when it comes to fixed asset turnover. Whereas in 2018, they had set only 0.11 times. For the next year, which is 2019, they had set 0.088 times, 0.83 times in 2020, and 0.095 times in 2021. And the latest one, which is in 2022, they had set for 0.08 times. The ratio that this company shown for their fixed asset turnover shows that the company is less efficient and has a less liquidity. The asset turnover ratio serves as a measure of a company's efficiency in converting its assets into revenue. A higher ratio signifies that the company is adept at generating sales from its assets, showcasing its superior efficiency. On the other hand, a low asset turnover ratio suggests that the company is not effectively utilizing its assets to generate sales, thereby indicating inefficiency in its operations. Next one, I will be talking about total asset turnover. The industry average for total asset turnover for the past 5 years is 0.17 times. According to the chart, Kerjaya Prospek has been consistently set a good result in their total asset turnover, whereas their ratio are always between 0.80 and 0.70 for the past 5 years, which shows that the company is more efficient and is generating more revenue. Meanwhile, in IUI Properties, they had consistently having lower than the industry average for the past 5 years, whereas they had always set their total asset turnover ratio in between 0.6 and 0.8 times. This shows that the company generates less revenue throughout those years. In general, it is more advantageous for a business to have a higher asset turnover ratio. This signifies that the company is able to generate more revenue from its asset compared to its competitors, indicating a higher level of efficiency and optimal utilizations of resources. On the other hand, having a lower asset turnover ratio suggests that the company may be either producing more products than necessary or failing to effectively manage its inventory levels.
The current ratio is a financial metric used to assess a company's short-term liquidity and its ability to cover its short-term liabilities with its short-term asset. A current ratio of 1:1 means that a company's current assets are equal to its current liabilities, indicating a balance between the two. When comparing a company current ratio to the industry average, the variation from the industry norm can provide insight into a company's financial health and risk profile. In the case of Kerjaya Prospek, with a current ratio of 4.41, it indicates that the company has significantly more current asset relative to its current liabilities compared to the industry average of 1:1. This suggests that Kerjaya Prospek may have strong liquidity and may be better positioned to meet its short-term obligation. Conversely, IUI Properties has a current ratio of 0.47 times, which is lower than industry average of 1:1. This implies that IUI Properties has fewer current assets relative to its current liabilities compared to the industry norm. A low current ratio can indicate potential difficulty in meeting short-term obligation and may suggest liquidity challenges. Therefore, the statement that IUI Properties may experience an increased risk of financial problem is reasonable based on its current ratio being slightly lower than the industry average. It suggests that IUI Properties may need to manage its short-term liquidity carefully to avoid financial difficulties. The quick ratio, also known as the acid test ratio, is a measure of a company's short-term liquidity that provides a more conservative assessment than the current ratio. It excludes inventory from current assets since inventory can sometimes be difficult to convert quickly into cash in the event of a liquidity crisis. A higher quick ratio indicates a greater ability to meet short-term obligation using more liquid assets like cash, marketable securities, and account receivable. Given that the industry average for the quick ratio is stated as 4.27, we can interpret this as the typical benchmark for liquidity among companies in the industry. In the case of Kerjaya Prospek, with a quick ratio of 3.6, although slightly lower than the industry average, it still indicates that the company has significant liquid asset compared to its short-term liabilities. This suggests that Kerjaya Prospek is in a favorable position to meet its short-term debts quickly. On the other hand, IOI Properties has a quick ratio of 0.26, which is substantially lower than the industry average. This implies that IOI Properties has a much lower proportion of liquid asset compared to its short-term liabilities. Consequently, IOI Properties may face challenges in quickly paying off its short-term debts if they come due. Therefore, the statement that Kerjaya Prospek will be able to pay its short-term debts faster than IOI Properties is valid based on their respective quick ratio relative to the industry average. It suggests that Kerjaya Prospek has a stronger liquidity position compared to IOI Properties in terms of meeting short-term obligations.
So now I'm going to explain about debt ratio. Debt ratio is a crucial indicator of financial risk and reliance on debt for financing. Kerjaya Prospek Group Berhad demonstrate a commendable trend, which is debt ratio declining from 22.44% in 2018 to 20.98% in 2022, signaling a conservative financial approach and reduced dependency on debt. On the flip side, IOI Property Group Berhad consistently maintained a higher and fluctuating debt ratio, ranging between 43.5% and 47.82%. The elevated and less stable debt ratio for IOI Property Group Berhad may raise concern about financial risk and leverage, suggesting a significant portion of their asset in finance through debt. In conclusion, based on this comparison, Kerjaya Prospek Group Berhad lower and declining debt ratio stand out as a better choice from a risk management perspective. Next is about the long-term debt ratio. In evaluating the long-term debt ratio of Kerjaya Prospek Group Berhad and IOI Property Group Berhad, it's become evident that Kerjaya Prospek maintain a more stable and consistently lower ratio, reflecting a caution and conservative financial strategy. The long-term debt ratio, measuring the proportion of asset financed by long-term debt, remained relatively flat for Kerjaya Prospek from 2018 to 2022, indicating a consistent and prudent approach to managing long-term debt. Despite the industry average being 1.74 times, Kerjaya Prospek ratio remained below, showcasing a reliable and conservative capital structure with less reliance on long-term debt. In contrast, IOI Property Group Berhad experienced fluctuations in its average long-term debt ratio, notably decreasing from 0.34 times in 2021 to 0.1 times in 2022. While both companies generally maintain ratio below the average, the stability and consistently lower ratio observed in Kerjaya Prospek case are often deemed preferable, signaling a more reliable and conservative capital structure compared to IOI Property Group Berhad, which appear to exhibit a higher degree of variability and reliance on long-term debt financing. The debt to equity ratio of Kerjaya Prospek Group Berhad and IOI Property Group Berhad reveals valuable insight into their financial structure and risk profile. A lower debt to equity ratio is generally favored as it signifies reduced financial leverage and potential risk. Kerjaya Prospek Group Berhad demonstrate a fluctuation trend in its ratio, starting at 6.8% in 2018 and experiencing a notable decrease to 4.45% in 2022, falling below the 6.36% industry average. This decline suggests a more conservative capital structure with a diminishing reliance on debt financing, indicating prudent financial management. In contrast, despite initially having a higher debt-to-equity ratio compared to Kerjaya Prospek and the average, IOI Property Group Berhad undergoes a remarkable reduction from 57.93% in the preceding year to 19.68% in 2022. This substantial decrease points towards a significant improvement in debt management and a move toward a lower risk financing structure. Although both companies exhibit positive changes in 2022, the consistently lower ratio of Kerjaya Prospek and the substantial decrease in IOI Property Group's ratio suggest superior debt management practice, positioning them with a more conservative and lower risk financial interest and tie ratio serve as a crucial financial metric, gauging a company's capability to meet its interest obligation through operating income. A higher tie ratio is generally perceived as favorable, indicating a greater ability to cover interest expenses and lowering the risk of default on debt obligation. Upon examining the financial data of Kerjaya Prospek Group and IOI Group Berhad, it became evident that Kerjaya Prospek Group maintained a relatively steady tie ratio over the years, suggesting a stable capacity to fulfill interest obligation. Conversely, IOI Group Berhad exhibits substantial fluctuation in its tie ratio, particularly in 2020, where a significant spike is followed by a sharp decline in subsequent years. While a peak tie ratio in 2020 may imply a robust ability to cover interest payment, the subsequent drastic decrease in 2021 and 2022 raised concern about the sustainability of this financial performance. Investors and creditors generally favor consistency and a higher tie ratio over time, as they signify a more reliable capacity to manage debt obligations with withstand economic challenges. The contrasting pattern in tie ratio between Kerjaya Prospek Group and IOI Group Berhad highlight the importance of assessing not only the magnitude but also the stability of a company's ability to cover interest expenses.
For the conclusion, financial ratio analysis is an important tool for evaluating a company's financial condition and performance. It involves analyzing ratio related to liquidity, profitability, and leverage to make informed decisions. However, it is necessary to consider industry standards and external factors that may impact the company operation when interpreting this ratio. It is also important to remember that ratio analysis provides an exposure and should be accompanied by a true understanding of the business environment for a complete assessment.